Up all the time all over Metro Atlanta. Can you name the mascot for Dutchtown? How about Kell High School? Well, if you go to Mill Creek, you're a Hawk. A Hawk that hasn't won too many games so far in its first season. But the Gwinnett School won its first ball game a few weeks ago. And as Mitch Clayton explains, that was only part of a wild weekend.
Today's team leader is presented by Aaron Sales and Lease Ownership, where you can own dream products for just $99 a month.
When John Bollier moved from Indiana to Georgia before the start of school, he was immediately faced with questions and challenges. Aside from a new home, new friends, and a new life, he had to decide if he wanted to be the first ever quarterback for Mill Creek's brand new football program.
His father was hired, and Gary Long, our athletic director, told me he had a son that was a quarterback that had played before.
Well, when I was back in Indiana, actually, Coach Jarvis called.
The first time me and John talked, I could tell that, personality-wise, we were a match.
Well, I met Coach Jarvis on the first day I got down here.
We met him at Ivy Creek Elementary and had him throw in the parking lot.
And then kind of towards the end of the summer, we talked about if I was going to play. And I guess for me, a big thing was he said that all the coaches were Christians. And kind of at that point, I knew that, he's the kind of coach that I wanted to play for.
That was a pretty happy day for us at Mill Creek. That was one of our first successes that we had, was to be able to get John to come play for us.
They shared more than values. There was one immediate goal that Bollier, Jarvis, and the entire Mill Creek squad wanted to accomplish.
The first win. From day one, that was our goal, get the first win in the history of Mill Creek High School.
Mill Creek got that first milestone win in its first year of playing football, but there was still something missing. Coach Shannon Jarvis actually missed the celebration of that first win because he was celebrating another milestone, a more personal one.
This is Miss Emma Grace Jarvis. She is the first child of me and my wife, Candy Jarvis, and she is truly a special part of our family right now.
We kind of knew when the due date was in September, and we joked about it.
You don't think that it's going to happen on a game, and then the irony of it is not just during the game, but it being the first win.
My first thought was just how easy it would be for him to remember when he got his first win, because it would be on his daughter's birthday. But it ended up happening that she was born on Saturday and not Friday night.
He was definitely glad to be at the hospital, but I know there was times when it got pretty crazy on the phone. I know it was hard for him not to be there, but it was just great being able to be a part of that and help him be informed.
And I was on the cell phone throughout the game, so I heard of the actions during the game. And I could hear the crowd on the sideline, and I could hear the excitement on the sideline.
So as the excitement settles, the Hawks will always be able to look back and know that a wealth of experience combined with a little bit of Bollier and a little grace gave Mill Creek a weekend it may never forget.